We need to talk about some VTuber stuff. We got some VTuber news again. The VTubing community can never cease to exist without a controversy happening. Apparently, I know that Mujin uploaded a video specifically, but it is like 1 hour and it's like an hour and something long on the situation itself. I don't think I'm gonna watch it. Static Tokyo will probably reduce this a little bit, but I know that Mujin can go in more in-depth video, and if you want to support Mujin, you can support Mujin at the end of the day. Well, at least my streak wasn't ruined. Hey, you know, it happens, you know. But anyways, let's take a look at this. She lied about her age, the craziest VTuber graduation. So what your people did again? Control your people code. These are my people. I like I said, I'm not part of the VTuber community. I already said this multiple times. I just do my own thing at the end of the day. I don't socialize with many VTubers in general. So I just kind of do my own thing. But this is gonna be interesting.
Contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
All right, let's see. Let's see what the whole issue is this time around. How bad can it be?
I have to make it abundantly clear that what I'm going to talk about today is very, gross and contains sensitive topics. Despite all the jokes that may spew out of my mouth, despite the gross information I'm about to state,
Nah,
don't
they're
harass
your
anybody,
kin.
and obviously,
Nah,
you didn't go over all the evidence and sources yourself. It's just the start of the year, and I have to talk about how a VTuber spread C themselves.
Oh no, Tokyo.
So, yeah. Whoa. Future Static here. And I just have to state that, this video ended up being way bigger than I first intended. So while researching and actually being done with this script, I had a feeling that I've seen Elfin Psyop somewhere before, like in some deep shit.
What did he do to make them niggas that mad?
So I go digging, and it's a bit harder now to find stuff since her accounts are, you know, gone. But that's when it hit me. Rima actually did a pretty long video on Elfin Psyop like 5 months ago. I avoided watching her video since I didn't want my own opinion to be skewed, but I did skim through it to see where she may have gotten some of her sources, and I stumbled across a 51-page Google Doc.
Damn. I said, God help me. I said, God help me. I said, God help me.
Yeah, shit gets wicked. So this is how we're going to do this. I'm going to give y'all all the new information first, then go backwards and give y'all that information with the new knowledge that we just, you know, recently
so
learned,
this person
because
has been alive for quite some time, and there's been some controversy 6 months ago on the situation. This is going to be interesting.
some of the new knowledge is actually important to know since she was lying about her age. Spoilers. But
wow, shocking.
You know, okay, past Static will take it away. I'll let you know when future Static
lying
comes
about
back
her
in, even
age.
though editing will make it very obvious. A VTuber by the name of Elfin Psyop has graduated and deleted their Twitter and everything, to be honest. Elfin Psyop is one of those VTubers with a very interesting moral.
Oh, you can't just skim by that. What the hell? Yo, this last one here is a little bit questionable, not gonna lie.
Moral standing?
It appears they don't allow people of color in this community.
Nah, fuck it, I'ma just be blunt. She was weird. She's weird. Racist, saying slurs. Interesting slash edgy humor.
I'm drunk as fuck. TKCLME out. I'm Paki, mom's side, and Ukrainian dad's side. I'm a halfie. Lamafau, weird combo, right? Wow, this person. Pyro, since you're here, have I... What? What the hell?
At best.
Welcome
I
back.
don't fuck with it at all, which you probably will be able to tell throughout the video, but I'll try to keep my biases at a minimum when giving out the information. From my understanding though, a lot of people kind of took her whole thing as a joke or didn't think it was serious, or they completely agreed with what she was saying. I have a feeling I'm about to be called more slurs than my ancestors have combined. Hell, even Elfie herself had a whole wave of harassment for having, let's see here, melanin, because she is half Pakistani. Again, not cool to be racist, even towards someone that is racist. It doesn't make it better, it just makes you both racist.
This is
One racist plus one racist equals two racist. But 1 racist plus 0 racist only still equals 1 racist. It's really easy mathematics. I'm not pulling this shit out of my ass either. She was like standing 10 toes down on this shit, like literally doubled down, stating that they hated Jews and Muslims. So yeah, not off to a great start.
Interesting.
And it gets worse. And I mean like way worse. And I also want to make it clear that I don't like people using her race of being half Pakistani as a justification for her actions. That is probably the most illogical way of thinking. She did weird shit because she's just weird. Like literally, confession and distribution of crit points.
What?
What?
Crit points. He's just gross.
Man, fuck you all. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you all. Fuck you. Fuck.
Elfin did a post that
Wait, she has Uwu merch. Like someone from Uwu Market like actually like worked with her for like what, for sponsors? It's a sponsorship, right? That's crazy, dude. That's fucking wild to see this.
Man, fuck you all. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you all. Fuck you. Fuck.
Elfin did a post that basically states that she started VTubing at 17. Her hallmates would give her a bit of that Don Julio, and what I mean by a bit, I mean a lot. She was an alcoholic. So she then proceeded to act older than she actually was. Now, I know a lot of people don't really think minors should be in the VTubing space at all. I personally don't give a fuck, as long as they don't try to act grown and be in spaces that they clearly aren't permitted.
I personally don't agree with this opinion. I don't think they should start out VTubing immediately. No, because you want to know something? Because if they do blow up and get famous and everything like that, they're gonna become like those other specific streamers, you know, where like their ego becomes very inflated and everything like that, and then they're gonna be like, they're all like tough shit and everything, you know. I don't approve of. I have to disagree with Static Tokyo 100% on this opinion right here. He is in the 100% in the wrong here. No, they should not be in the VTubing scene because number one, they don't know enough information of what happens in the VTubing scene. That's number one, right? Number two, you can take advantage of them because there's been a lot of younger VTubers that have been taken advantage, especially from management stuff, from like the management team, from like actual being in a company. That's one of them. Number two, you know, you got very manipulated people, especially older people who like to prey on younger people at the end of the day. You have that as well. And then you also have people who get a little bit more big ego inflated, and you kind of populate the wrong type of people at the end of the day. So that's why I disapprove specifically on this opinion on Static Tokyo.
To be in, i.e. YouTuber spaces, or just anybody that has an 18+ tag. Yeah, Elfin didn't do that at all. She would hide her age usually and admitted to actively not being open about her age. And she did this for so long that even her own perception of her age was altered. She stated that she would say she was 14 years old on 4chan when in reality she was like 11. Being that young on 4chan, your brain has been chemically changed for the rest of your life. Oh, the bad part also, she had haters of her leak some of her stuff, not knowing the real age of Elfie.
Let me see. Also, just thought to put that out there because all the images that my haters have and have been leaking are technically CP. Good luck.
Hopefully. And even states herself that these people were actually leaking critical points, which is icky. It's gross. Now, I did have a bit of polite thinking of this fact. Was Elfie having these pictures and like sending them to people herself? Or were the people that leaked them like crazy and went on some watchdog shit and found them and posted them? Apparently, Elfie says that she sent those pics to people her own age or around her age. And then those are the people that are leaking them now. Which low-key kind of signifies that she was a minor sending these to adults if they thought she was 18. Or even more disturbing, it was minors thinking she was an adult. Not to mention, when this incident was at its height, she claimed that these pics were fake or altered by AI. So in the more recent post, I think she's just coming out and saying the truth at this point. Granted, she was seemingly going to leave anyways. Revenge porn though is never good. It's gross. It's bad. Don't do that. And if you're a minor, don't send explicit images of yourself anywhere. Be safe.
Yeah,
we also learned that Elfin had a bunch of stuff happening in her server. Now, from my understanding and just judging the content she was making and how she carried herself, she is an 18+ content creator. But some freaky ass shit would be happening in the Discord. Everything she enjoyed, which is very interesting things like corn, lolly stuff, and more corn. There was a whole lot. She would even send explicit audios of herself. Oh, and they had a whole PDF file in there too. They do get rid of him, but later you find out Elfin might have picked up a trick or two, or at least had really edgy and interesting humor about the whole thing. A few other things is her trying to like explain her ethnicity, saying that Northern Pakistani are Aryan. If you don't know what she means by Aryan, in simple terms, it's a debunked way of thinking that a group of people are superior in being quote-unquote pure blood. Obviously, a certain party popularized this and would use this way of thinking to be prejudiced towards others, basically based off of superficial features and people they simply didn't like. She seems to have some very blatant inner racism or insecurity. Now, according to the information I gathered, there was 2 servers. All of this was in the first server. The second one is, well, it isn't better, I'll say that. So basically everything that I said about the Discord being freaky, that shit didn't stop. So you think, okay, they'll just make sure no fucking backyardigans somehow gets in, right? Fuck no, they didn't give a fuck at all. A 16-year-old was on the server and made explicit art for Elfie, which Elfie is known to really enjoy. Like really enjoy. Jesus Christ, it's hard being vague, even though I know YouTube is probably going to curb stomp me 20 times for this video. And it's like not a one-off thing. This kid was a part of the community actively. VCs, contributing in non-safe for work channels, and Elfie clearly knew the age of this guy. Okay, before niggas act like they the equalizer,
I'm gonna kill each and every one of you.
the 16-year-old has made a statement basically saying that he wasn't groomed and that she didn't actually know his age, which, take that as you will. I personally find it weird that you can have a server be that gooned out and you not have any sort of verification. I get that people can just lie, but obviously he wouldn't, since his age was already.
Let me see. All right, well, I'm gonna make a statement on Elfin psyop drama, and I'm gonna talk about the part that includes me. I wasn't groomed by Elfin. Elfin never sent me any prawn or suggestive images. Yes, I did make Elfin Dolgen, but I also didn't tell anyone in that server my age. And no, Elfin didn't commission me to make it. I made it on my own for her birthday fan art because I thought she'd enjoyed it, because at the time I was a huge Elfin psyop fan. And I feel like people only want to say I was groomed is that they wanted another reason to hate on her. I mean, if they really thought I was being groomed, then why did no one even try to contact me, you know, for information? I mean, the original collage with all the proof had my Twitter at and my Discord, and no one even thought to ask me anything. And I'm adding these so at least some people can find this, right?
Posted, and I'm sure Elfin at least knew in the end, considering she replied to the thread made on her saying that there is a 16-year-old in her server, and she has responded to the kid's tweet before. But hey, what do y'all think? Let me know. But just kept this child around and had them make a bunch of explicit art, and I can't even show the art on this video because I'll get evicted by YouTube. It's just gross, and even plays around with grooming allegations just out loud. This is the confusing part. A lot of people seem to actually like Elfin psyop. Obviously, me hearing and seeing her pop up every now and then, it was always some crazy shit. Like, you can tell she's on that 4chan type humor. And me personally, I don't find it funny. I don't. So I brushed it off and kept it pushing. If you are an Elfie fan, like legitimately, let me know why. Like, I'm dead ass curious. Comment down below. Elfie also isn't really unfamiliar with backlash, which is like, no shit. But apparently she fell into the trap of not only having people spend money on her, but fall for her. Some of them leading to certain things to happen. I can't quite remember exactly what happened. Future Static will take it from here. Back in April 18th of 2025, a Google Doc was written on Elfin psyop claiming that she has manipulated her fans for sexual gratification.
Wow. Wow, that is a thing that people do, huh? Interesting.
Basically, she would get with a fan, be intimate with them, send them explicit imagery, etc., and then drop them when she had her fill, and then try to make them look bad later to avoid saying that she was, you know, ever intimate with them or just take full accountability. He did this with like 6 different niggas. I can say from what I gathered that people's most common consensus is that everyone within this situation is kind of weird, but with the new information that I know, I will now go over the main points of this document. Again, I'll probably miss some shit, so read the doc for yourself. Or, I don't know, maybe watch Reba's video, I don't know. To start, a person by the name of Bird joins Elfie's Discord server the day after it was created. Bird sent a generally wholesome marshmallow message. For those that don't know what marshmallow is, and no, I'm not talking about the fucking sugar cube thing, squishy thing. It's basically a thing where people can send you notes or messages anonymously. They can sign it if they want, but it's mostly for anonymous notes. Elfie, however, just didn't read them. And her community had to basically tell her, yo, read the notes. She read them, and it appears Bird did sign this note, and Elfie sent him a personal DM, basically saying she appreciates the message. It was a seemingly wholesome interaction, nothing I would read into so much. March 30th, Bird is trying to convince an intoxicated Elfie to eat food, and Shawty starts to get, you're weird! And this seems to be a common thing that would happen where Shawty would get a little freaky off the Don Julio. I even stated earlier that she had an incident where she would get freaky in a public server when she was on that drink. Bird, however, takes accountability by saying that he would indulge her by saying what she wanted to hear. Elfie sobered up the next day and seemingly apologized after rereading the atrocities that I had to read. And this, of course, was a reoccurring thing where Shawty would just get wasted, text dumb shit, and then get sober and not remember what she was on. April 1st. At this point, they would call regularly, and it seems that Bird didn't really want Elfie to drink, but she did so anyway. And Elfie started asking questions like
I said, this isn't my people. This is not my people. Like I said, I don't associate with the Vtuber community. And at the end of the day, it just proves of my statement a lot of the times. This is the reason why I don't associate with the Vtuber community, because there's a lot of bad eggs in the community. Because they're just riding the wave of the popularity. And then on top of that, what's the other statement? You got a lot of people who are very young who are joining this kind of thing or so.
You dated, what do you think of relationships, and what do you want out of this? Bird basically said it doesn't matter what I want, rather not taint this good deed that I'm trying to do. Nigga, what? Real shit though, the issue with responding this way is that it isn't very clear. Or maybe I'm just really dense, but come on man, make it more clear, you know what I'm saying? April 3rd to April 6th. Elfie would get drunk and send explicit images of herself to Bird unprompted. Now, if you look at the year, it's 2024. With the new information I told y'all prior, we know that Elfie is now 19 currently in 2026. We aren't sure of when her birthday is, at least I'm not, but worst case scenario, Elfie could be a minor in this time frame. It's plausible that Elfie was 17 turning 18 during this time, which is gross. Anyways, Bird asked Elfie if she wanted them deleted, which did happen, but did keep like a screenshot of this event occurring in case something happened. Now, the thing we don't see is Bird's response to all of this, which I do think is interesting to not see that.
That's weird.
But we do see that Elfie was definitely wanting some action, and even would do the action to Bird's voice. Bird claims to not have engaged in anything since she would usually be drunk and she might regret it, and he would also avoid the risk of it being used against him. Bird claimed to also make sure to tell Elfie everything that happened while she was drunk.
At least in this community, we are gay for each other. Oh my fucking god.
24th to June 12th. Bird wanted to see if they can meet up. Be pissed. Damn! It wasn't really a push thing, and even Bird states that there wasn't really any pressure into meeting, since he wasn't even fully sure if he would be able to, you know, make it. Elfie wasn't really down for it in the end, so that meeting just didn't happen. That's when Bird gets a random DM about another dude named Merrick, to which Elfie would also fuck with in a call when drunk. Bird then goes to Elfie to clear things up, and Elfie gets really defensive, even though Bird isn't hostile about it at all. Almost like she was more mad at him knowing this information. Elfie explains that Merrick would encourage her to drink more, and that he would drink a lot also, basically trying to insinuate that he would get her tweaking just to do stuff. She eventually had enough of that and deleted everything and told him not to talk about it.
You're all gay, okay?
Which, bro,
every
was
single one of you
definitely
guys
talking about it. And also in this heart-to-heart, Bird does clearly have feelings for Elfie. This is important because Bird, when he was intoxicated this time, says some things that were concerning to Elfie's editor, which was an editor that Bird was paying for. The editor by the name of Otaku asked Elfie what was up, since Bird was talking about his and Elfie's relationship and that he thinks Elfie likes him too. Elfie then aggressively said that he straight up asked her and she gave him an answer. This never transpired. And if she's talking about the heart-to-heart during the Merrick thing, there was never a straight answer or response to his feelings, nor was he asking for anything in the statement. September. He would just act really strange. They scheduled to meet up for real in December, and they were basically planning it all out. She would send selfies to Bird and then be very self-deprecating and not really take compliments and say things like, save it for when we meet. And if you actually think that, just grape me.
What are we talking about?
Chat, hello? Hello? Also, she tried talking about a wet dream she had with him, which is just super... You're weird! And some other shit. This is where the Avengers assembled.
Right.
I'm gonna quickly go over these guys. During this time, there was Shovel and Captcha. Shovel and Bird never got along. Shovel seemed to just be fake and just had a lot of red flags. Not a good vibe. And Bird would point out these concerns to Elfie, and Elfie would just dismiss it.
God, Jesus Christ, this thing is an entire shit show. I know, I heard some things, but I didn't know it was this bad. I never knew this was actually this bad in general. Jesus, oh my God, dude. Hey man, I'll repeat it and I'll repeat it over and over and over again, okay? I don't care how many times I gotta repeat it, I'll repeat it every single time in almost every single VTuber video of controversy that destroys their own career. I'm just saying, until everyone understands specifically and gets it through their heads.
Shovel caught wind of this and started to make like hotel chair jokes about it. If it wasn't very apparent, Shovel and Elfie were definitely e-cracking. Eventually though, Bird was able to get Elfie to unfriend bro after she understood his points. Captcha, another dude she was e-cracking, would post about his issue related to women in a Discord thread.
Such a fat fucking chud.
And him saying, it's frustrating when women are given the right answer to their problems, but they don't want to take. Yeah, Elfie didn't like that at all, to which Bird calmed her down and then explained the situation to Captcha. Sako, aka Kazu, is another person that Chadi was e-cracking to my understanding. They told Bird that Captcha is going around.
Your kins are wild, Co. Get your kin together. Give them the same PR training I gave you. No, fuck no. These are not my people. Can we put this person into the year of the Freaky Freak frogs? We can put this one in the Freaky Freaks, right? You got Turkey Tom. You got Turkey Tom being a freaky freak. You got that one dude, what's this, Lucari being part of the Freaky Freak, and now you got this person, this psyop person or so, being in the Freaky Freak too as well. Man, this is the year of the Freaky Freaks, aren't they, huh?
Around and reporting accounts on
The
and off
year of
and
the
threatening
Freaky
Elfie
Freaks,
with
man.
doxing. Now here's the thing. Bird goes to
Jesus
Elfie herself
Christ.
to talk about the situation to know the extent of what's going on, and he is taking notes while they're talking, but something isn't adding up. Elfie claims that Captcha had one pic of her face due to him knowing one of her Instagram accounts. The thing is, Elfie didn't explain how Captcha even got her real name to begin with to even find the account. Bird didn't say anything though, because you know they're supposed to meet up in December.
January is the month of the Freaky Frogs.
Does he know? Elfie at this point has been fucking with
Man, what a
multiple
way to start
dudes
out
at
the
the
year,
same
to be
time
honest.
or back to back to back. It was most definitely at the same time because Bird has been messing with her for a minute at this point, like since March. December 22nd through January 3rd, they met up and had fun. Nothing too crazy, and nothing happened, at least so they say. Elfie also gave a definite clear rejection of being anything more than friends. Stalko then spins back, and they both came to the same realization.
Played us like a damn fiddle!
Basically, they came to the conclusion that Elfie was running the same playbook on Sako that she did on Bird. Bird then comes up with a list of individuals that she may have also done this to, and Sako was told to verify the list, which he goes and does somehow. Sako was soon shot, aka bro was banned. That's when Bird went and talked to Lil Bean, a friend of Captcha. Lil Bean had way more info than Bird thought though. Lil Bean was pulled into a group chat during the time Captcha was harassing Elfie to get unbanned. Captcha DM'd Lil Bean and gave him the whole rundown. Basically, Elfie would constantly lead him on and they would do, you know, but then Elfie would go ghost and the cycle continues until Captcha finds out that Shawty was distant because she was messing with another guy named Locke, which Captcha has questioned Elfie about before because he had his suspicions and Elfie would say no and then say he was controlling and insecure. Captcha would then go to Elfie and then Elfie claimed that Locke was a groomer and a PDF file.
Excuse me?
And then apparently a few weeks before going to Captcha, she was with Shovel. Elfie does the same song and dance and make it seem like they manipulated her to do things. Okay, so the list right now is Bird, Shovel, Captcha, Locke, Merrick, and Sokka. Not in that order, of course. The kicker is Captcha, Shovel, and Locke were all in a group chat seeing all the proof. And when Elfie was added to that group chat, she completely flipped script. And even in the group chat, they point out the inconsistencies. Elfie puts a lot of blame on her alcoholism, which definitely is a contributing factor and she needs serious help with that. But Shovel said that even when sober, she would still do things. And Lachlan said that she was down until he said it would be a poly thing, since he was in a poly relationship at the time, I'm assuming. Now, you would think that all the people she kind of fucked around with would simply go to clear things up and move on, but no. The snitch. Sokka, the most recent Percy Elfie is with at this time, and why am I doing the noir thing again? Why is it black and white? Anyway, Sokka goes and tells Elfie everything that is going on just to try and win her over. You can't make this stuff up. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but you know, that's what the shit says. I'm just telling y'all what the fuck it is, really. He literally leaked the logs of the whole situation to Elfie, so Elfie can go and mitigate damage and talk to people beforehand, and even try to make fake evidence to smear Bird's name. And the crazy part is, she goes to Lil Bean, who knows everything at this point, and gives him this like self-loathing type of message about how nobody's her friend and that she feels betrayed, and even try to use her age as leverage, basically saying that she is 20, which she isn't. She's 19 at the oldest, and that these guys were 25 plus, and that it doesn't make sense that she abused her supposed position of power since she is younger.
See, oh my lord, man, dude. I think this rabbit hole was wild, to be honest.
That is not how that works when you're the streamer. Fucking with fans, my nigga, that's not how that goes. She also tried to use the rejection of Bird as a way to excuse her actions, and that she rejected him multiple.
See, this is also one of the reasons why I don't approve, like, very young people starting VTubing as well. She's grown, she knows what she's doing. Debatable. It's more like yes, she knows what she's doing, but then at the same time, but the things that she's doing is children shit that she's doing right now. She's acting like a child at the end of the day, so that's what I'm saying, debatable on that.
Times, but the only rejection happened in December after everything had already taken place. So Shawty can't lie for shit. Bean keeps pressing on the December discrepancy, and Elfie gives this whole fucking paragraph that is riddled with just lies. Her saying she didn't want to meet is a lie because she seemed down to meet, and even then, Bird wasn't even pressing it. And they ended up meeting up late.
Shoko, you understand why? Like, I did my research on the VTubing scene, like the whole entire like community in general, right? Before I even became a VTuber, you know? And then also like all of the, plus since I've had a lot of friends or so in general who were in the content creator space, making YouTube videos and whatnot. And they've told me their history as well with collabing with other people in general. And all that knowledge that I've learned throughout like, just research and like, and from other friends in general who were content creators, kind of basically gave me like a almost like a starter guidebook, basically, to start off with things you gotta watch out, people you gotta pay attention and look out for. That's the reason why. So I fully agree, the younger you're starting, the messier it gets. Well, the problem is just like there are three things, right? Safety guidelines, pretty much. I feel like there should be something like that for VTubers who want to begin, but unfortunately there really isn't. There are a couple things, right? When someone who is starting young, right? If they blow up, right? Let's say, for example, they blow up because they sound so cute, they sound so gullible, they sound so innocent, or whatever, They become famous, right? They become famous overnight, and then they're gonna have an ego, a massive ego afterwards, right? Because they haven't really experienced life or grow in actual life in general. That's number one. Number two, they can be taking advantage of other people who are older than them or have more higher power than them. Just kind of really depends, like either or. That's number two, basically. That could happen specifically to these individuals, or they can be taken if they try to join to some company in general. They can take advantage of, you know, an 19-year-old and an alcoholic. Oh, hold on, ain't she in the US? Ain't 21 to drink? I don't know. Kind of. Wait, is she American? I don't even know if she is American or not. We'll find out. Actually, I wasn't paying attention to that part, but I was just hearing all the other shit that this woman likes to mess around with a bunch of other freaking dudes and everything like that. So, but I know for a fact that she was faking her age the entire time, which that's something that like kind of like stood out to me the most. I probably might have missed that information specifically if she is in the US or not. So, and then what else can happen at starting at a very young age and then becoming a VTuber in general? Yeah, we've seen a lot of the times they still gullible and naive to tackle certain things. Yeah, it's just like they haven't really fully grown up or anything like that. That's the reason why, you know, when it comes to like, you know, handling in these that's why personally I just don't approve of like younger adults in general, just like younger in general to start off VTubing. That's the problem, you know.
Anyways, saying that Bird was the only person she could send selfies to is a lie because she sent the same pics to multiple people. Saying that Bird was depressed because they didn't meet the first time is false. Bro was upset because of the Merrick stuff, and a few more. Elfie then tries to get the logs for herself, but Bean already knew that she would just give some bullshit excuse, so going through it would be pointless. But Bean decided to ask if she remembered any keywords so he can just search stuff up. And she says that due to her alcoholism, she can't remember much, and that she relies solely on the evidence and quote-unquote my feelings.
Yeah, but you didn't become like, you know, these kinds of people. You actually found me, to be honest, you know, that can pass you down, you know, stuff that I know.
That I felt during that time.
These people, these people don't have friends like that.
Which makes zero fucking sense. Bean and Elfie go back and forth about things I don't even think I can say on this channel because it's a bit... He became aware of what was actually happening in early January 2025, that Lachlan and Shovel were also in the loop with Elfie because he got into contact with Captcha, and then he tried to confront Elfie, and she seemed to learn her lesson. Except she started to get freaky with that two-faced ass nigga Sako mid-January, which means she didn't learn shit. And cherry on top, she could have at worst been a minor during some part of this whole thing, which would mean that her saying that she shared pics with people her same age could be a lie. Which legally,
Shoko to the shadow realm.
Crit points are crit points, but you know, I'm a go. Have fun with Past Addict that doesn't know all this shit yet.
Damn.
The second controversy is her ethnicity, which is a weird controversy to have, but considering what she was spewing, that would probably be an issue for her demographic. Her being Pakistani led to people calling her slurs and harassing her, and mind you, she was already being harassed for just doing what she was doing. I don't want this to come across as me defending a person that is gross and most likely wouldn't give a fuck about me due to me being, you know, black. But if you want my unfiltered opinion, if you can't take what you did,
I think you can start young, but one, keep that circle small and tight at the start. Stay in your lane, mind your own business, and always research or learn to navigate these e-streets. The problem is, right, that works in a normal society, but remember, Dubstep, you guys don't live in a normal society. It works for actual logical people who actually have cognitive thoughts. But unfortunately, number one, you got someone who's young, right? It's a young person, very naive, okay? Also, this person started in 4chan, on 4chan at the age of 11, allegedly. So let that sink in, number one, okay? So we all know for a fact they're interacting with very questionable people to begin with. They're not gonna stay in their lane. They're not gonna mind their own business. And they never do research. So it only works if you live in an actual normal society. But unfortunately, that's just not how it works around here, unfortunately. So I would agree with you, but remember, humans are something. That's all I gotta say.
Out, maybe stop cooking. But like always, I won't encourage harassment on anyone, especially if it's stooping as low as racism or prejudice. She was on the internet basically being someone she isn't, and she obviously has a lot of self-loathsome or hatred of her culture and race, but I don't know, I can't relate. I like being me. I probably miss and maybe even misunderstood some aspects of this whole thing, and to those that will defend Elfin, I'll say this. Let's say that even if the slurs and racist remarks are just bad, edgy 4chan humor, that doesn't disguise or change the fact that she had a 16-year-old teenager in a space where minors shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then on top of that, the whole lying about her age thing, which makes a lot of the stuff she does in the past even worse, because we don't know how old she actually was then. But with that, I urge y'all to look into this if you want more details or even more nuance to this whole thing. Maybe by the time this video's up, Mujin or something will have a video done that's probably like 4 hours long. I would normally link all the sources in the description so y'all can just find it easy, but it's hard to do that without just flashbanging all with corn. And YouTube would explode my channel if I link corn in the description.
That's
so
true.
If there are any holes within the sources I'm linking, that's why. But thank you to all the people that think I'm worth their money.
That is a good video though,
as a
not
YouTube
gonna lie.
member or patron. Hopefully the
That is a very good video. Jesus Christ, honestly. Oh, Elfie's birthday is September 11, 2006. I found out after making the video. So you're telling me 2 tragedies happened? I mean, she just turned adult. This is burning me from the inside out. Really, it hits hard, especially as someone who just turned 30. This makes me sad that there are so many people doing this type of stuff. Be nice and have a year where it isn't the type that BS is going on. Damn, that's crazy though, honestly. Granted, Mujin's video is probably a little bit more in depth, but the problem is it's like an hour long, and I don't think I'm gonna do an hour-long video specifically on this situation. But like, honestly, I'm telling you, I told you, Dubstep. Like I said specifically, Dubstep. She ruined her life, and going on 4chan at such a young age at the end of the day, and that does warp a lot of kids' like minds in general. This is why kids should not go on 4chan. Yeah, kids should never go on 4chan. The whole point of grooming is the victim that doesn't really know it's happening. You know, throughout watching this video, one question constantly came to mind: where in the goddamn fresh freaking fruity fuck are this girl's parents? There are no parents with these people. Summary of this VOD: Ko and Shoko, get y'all kins together and get their manners up. Nah, these aren't part of my shit. Nope, I've said this multiple times. I'm not part of this community in general. I ain't part of this VTuber shenanigans. Like I said, I do my own thing at the end of the day, so. Play an hour-long video play an hour-long video and play Enfield. I guess we could do that, I guess. But even then, that's pretty much about it, though. But yeah, like I said specifically, crazy stuff. I'm not gonna lie, to be honest. Honestly, this is some pretty wild shenanigans. I didn't even know about this person. Like I said, I don't keep track of other VTubers at the end of the day. I got my own thing at the end of the day. Even Shoko knows. Even Shoko knows exactly that I don't keep track of other VTubers, so. But when you do hear it every so often, it's usually when their whole career comes burning down. This just kind of proves that they shouldn't really start at a very young age. But hey, you know what? That's just me at the end of the day. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And peace.